Auto Start Stop is the feature that will disengage your engine at a standstill. Some people don't like this feature and some people love it. So if you want to control that feature and toggle it on and off, that's what this button right above the Start Stop button does. If you press this in and it lights up, this LED illuminates, that means that the feature is now off. So the engine will always stay on. It won't turn off when you come to a standstill. With the light turned off, that means that the feature is now engaged. When you're driving, sometimes you might see this come up. Right now I have the feature on, but this is coming up. It's got the start stop and it's got the slash through it. Now this is normal. The system, the start stop system, it has certain stipulations that have to be in place in order for the engine to actually disengage. Some of the common ones are like if the engine's not at operating temperature, if the battery charge is low, if you have the AC on, you're trying to reach a certain temperature in the cabin and won't turn off the car to get that temperature in the cabin to the desired temperature. If your wheel is off center by more than 90 degrees, so say I have my steering wheel just completely turned over like this, it's off center by more than 90 degrees, so the engine won't turn off. So there's a lot of safety features and comfort features built into the system so that this might pop up at one of those situations. So don't be startled or alarmed thinking that there's anything wrong with the car. That's normal. It pops up pretty frequently because the system's very smart and it won't turn off your engine in those situations. But just keep that in mind. Another thing to keep in mind too is if you have this off, the feature off, so the light is turned on like it is here, if you use this toggle here and switch your drive mode and go down into Eco Pro, this will turn that feature on. So if I toggle down into Eco Pro, you'll notice the feature is now kicked on. And if you think about it, it makes sense because in Eco Pro you're more fuel conscious, you're trying to save as much gas as you can, and this is a fuel saving feature, so it's going to kick that feature on. Once you're in Eco Pro, you can turn it off again if you really want to, so you can keep that in mind as well. But just know that if you do go down into Eco Pro, that this feature turns on. So if you really dislike it, just keep that in mind. Otherwise, yeah, this right here, I'm in a 2015 3 Series, but I believe it was the 14 is when it started keeping last user setting. So previous model years before the 14s, you always had to turn it off every time you got in the car, but now it's set to last user setting. So if you just like it off, it can just always be off. And if you did have one of those previous model years that didn't hold the last user setting, check your local dealership, the service department. They should be able to adjust that for you if you want to have that go to the last user setting. But yeah, that's Auto Start Stop in a nutshell. If you have questions or comments, leave them below, and I'd be more than happy to help.